Well, last Sunday was the big day, Super Bowl Sunday. It was the biggest contest of the year. The best of the best going head to head against each other, strutting their stuff, slugging it out. There was an element of suspense. No one knew for sure the outcome. But you can be assured, no one pulled any punches. I am, of course, talking about the commercials. Normally during television viewing, when the commercials come on, people leave to go get snacks or go to the bathroom. The Super Bowl is the only event I know of, really, where when the commercials come on, people gather back into the room to watch TV and to shush each other. This year, advertisers paid an average of $3.8 million a half a minute. $3.8 million a half a minute just for airtime. That translates to $130,000 a second to sell their product. That's not even mentioning how much money was spent filming Clydesdales, running dogs, talking babies, or supermodels. And I got to thinking as I watched, about the church. How do we compete with that? How does what we are offering here each Sunday begin to compete with that? Certainly our style is noticeably unflashy by comparison. We don't spend millions of dollars on promotion. We offer very little, a little piece of bread and a little sip of wine. Maybe a paper flyer on your dorm bulletin boards or an email along the way to tell you of this. Your priest is far from a supermodel. Sorry about that. And everyone around you, right here, right now, everyone around you is very imperfect. Sorry about that too. As far as style goes, we offer you very little. But what about what we do offer you as a church? Actually, both Super Bowl commercials and the church offer a very similar promise to make your life better and to give you what you need. They offer glitz and glamour. We offer one of the least popular persons on campus right now, a person named Jesus of Nazareth, and his way, which is anything but glamorous. In Super Bowl commercials, through humor and often young, attractive people, we are told you will find everything you need by using the right product. And in our scriptures, we're offered joy, we're offered fulfillment, meaning, the challenge to become a better version of ourselves by a way of life, by following this Jesus, by living his way, by casting ourselves into the deep, as the apostle writes in the gospel we heard tonight, by casting ourselves into the deep and just watching the teeming life that becomes available to us when we do. This, my friends, is a much harder sell. For the way of Jesus is a very humble service. When Jesus says, "Follow me," to Peter and the others that were there that day, and now to us tonight in this hour, he makes no false promises. There's no glitz here. It's just the truth, the unvarnished truth. And when Isaiah is called to take on the mantle of the prophet in the first reading tonight, he's offered a burning coal on his lips, as if to say, you cannot even begin to speak the truth until you've suffered. This is a much harder sell. If you heard the gospel last Sunday, in that gospel, people were really upset with Jesus. They were upset because they were asking things like, isn't this the son of a carpenter? He was just too ordinary for them. We were looking for something a little more dramatic, a little more dazzling in a Messiah. This is a carpenter's son. No dazzle here. And we have just one simple story that we tell over and over again. As The Life of Pi in the movie or the book, if you read it, said it so clearly, all the rest have all these stories, and these Christians, they just have one story. And they keep telling it over and over and over again. As the Apostle Paul describes it in tonight's second reading, I handed on to you, he writes, what was handed on to me. That Christ died, that he was buried, that he was raised up, and that Peter and the 12, and now I, he writes, all had a profound personal experience of him after his death. We did. And so we preach it, so you can believe it. The way of Jesus is a way of self-emptying, self-giving love. It's an absolute rejection of power over or power against. To be willing to share power one with another as equals. This is the stuff of compassion. This is the stuff of faithfulness. This is the stuff that demands some letting go. It's the hard work of community, and it's the messiness of seeking right relationships with each other. It's the way of the cross. It's not quite like jumping out of an airplane on a bicycle while drinking the latest beverage, or all the other things we see on the big commercials. It is so much more attractive to look at the folks in commercials and think, they're telling me I can get everything I need from what they're selling. And Jesus is telling me I can get everything I really need. I really need. Like meaning, joy, fulfillment. But following him to the cross, on second thought, I think I'll go with the commercials. The truth is, there's no other way. There's a joy in following the way of Jesus that no tennis shoe, no vacation, no hot body, no beer, no car, no soda could ever give you. I've tried all those things. I've scuba dived. I've been in love, skied, climbed several 14ers, hiked the Inca Trail, kayaked with whales, done a number of those things that commercials will suggest are the way to happiness and satisfaction. They were fun. They were really fun. But they don't hold a candle. They don't hold a candle to the abiding joy I have known as a member of the body of Christ, warts and all, as a member of this body of Christ, this tiny piece of the body of Christ that we are, warts and all, and working with each other to try to follow His way all the way. You see, here's the difference between what the commercials offer and what the church offers. We can back it up. We can back it up. You go ahead and try those things. They might be fine products, but do they offer lasting joy? No. Do they provide meaning for a person's life? No. Do they help anyone discover anything about who they are, who they really are, and what they're really for, what their life is for in this world? No. Oh, they will pretend they do. But the way of Jesus brings a great and a lasting joy. A joy He knew that can be found no other way. There's a joy, to being a whole person, to living with fidelity, to living with integrity, and yes, even sacrifice. A joy that one could never get by buying more things. And finding a sense of mission and purpose to my life, and a meaning and a dignity that will not disintegrate someday like every single one of those things they sold for those $7.5 million a minute. I have to admit, last Sunday I enjoyed most of the Super Bowl commercials. I totally lived through that nerdy guy who kissed the supermodel. But as I watched them, I got to tell you, I had utter clarity that as for me, I want to follow the one who says to me, follow me. Follow me into the depth of life. Follow me to freedom. Because what I have found is I have tried to follow Him in one decision after another, and always imperfectly, is that He can back it up. And He did.